If you're a fitness coach who follows Alex Hormozi, and again, you're looking to generate more leads, you're looking to have a better lead gen system, better follow-up system, you're looking to make more money, have more time freedom. And again, but you might be struggling with those. We have a great interview where we're going to give you guys some great value where we talked with Alex Hormozi 6 years ago. So stay tuned because we're going to give you guys a lot of nuggets in this video.
And really quick, guys, my name's Chris Martinez. This is Eric Martinez, right? We're the co-founders of Dynamic Fit Pros, where we help health and fitness professionals start and grow their online coaching business and build a hybrid model, right? We've been in this game for 15 years, guys. Our first business, Dynamic Duo Training, coached thousands of clients all across the world, ran a hybrid model as well too. And then literally the past 6 years, helping over 900 health and fitness coaches start and grow their business, right? So they can create more income, impact, have more freedom, and have more faith over fear. So I really want you guys to listen to this coupled with Alex's knowledge. And you guys already know who he is, what he's done on there, guys, but it's a really, really good conversation. And we give you guys some really awesome stuff on here, guys. The last thing I always like to tie into is we're men of God, right? So we always tying in biblical values and principles. If you feel uncomfortable with that and it's not a good space for you, all good, right? We don't take that personal. If it is, great. We're going to tie in some biblical principles and we're actually going to give you guys some really good value so you guys can build your business on there, okay? So if you guys are ready to rock and roll, say rock and roll, and let's get into this right now.
Okay, so in this part of the interview, Alex explains why outreach is so important as a form of lead generation, but you have to be consistent with it. So what we're going to do is watch this clip where Alex talks about outreach, and then we'll give our opinion on this and give you guys more context.
So staying on the topic of Fit Pros, what's maybe one or two skills that are just literally invaluable that you would recommend for them after all the experience you've had?
They just need to learn how to generate leads. Okay. It doesn't even have to be through paid advertising, but they have to have a reliable way of generating leads. So that could be, I know that every day I do 25 cold reach outs to people who commented and liked, my content or whatever it is. And they have to have a script that they know that with 25 reach outs, they're going to get three warm-up calls and one sale. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. And so if they know what that, they have to have a consistent way of generating clients. And that's an unpaid way. You're paying with time. The other way is you're paying with money, so you can pay for media. But either way, they have to have a reliable way of knowing how to acquire customers.
You guys have to understand, right? There's three forms of generating traffic. Alex didn't really go too deep in that, but it's organic, it's paid, and then there's joint ventures or collaborations, right? Those are the three ways to generate traffic in your guys' business. Alex is just referring to just having one of those. You guys have to pick one of those. And he was giving you guys a tip on just doing 25 outreaches per day. I think that's a pretty low end. We even tell our coaches in our mentorship, at least do 5 per day, but I'm going to say do 50 a day because if you have time to do that, right? Just think about it. Sales is a volume game too, where it's if you do 50 outreaches per day, whether that's, outbound or inbound on your guys' Instagram and Facebook, then again, the chances of you guys having at least let's say it's 10% of that, right? You have 10 quality conversations out of 50, maybe 5 of those will move to phone calls. And then 2 of those might move to actual Zoom calls and sales calls you guys can close. So again, if you do that, consistently with the system, rinse and repeat 50 outreaches per day, I think the chances of you guys, generating leads just through that one type of form is going to be fairly high.
I'm looking at this video too, and I'm looking at Eric's arms and I'm looking at mine. I'm like, man, I have some more muscle than Eric does on here. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Now, look, I agree with Eric and I kind of disagree. And then I agree and I disagree with Alex too. If I look at this, guys, this video was 6 years ago. Okay. So that's what we have to keep in the context. And part of this video that we're going to do is give you guys updated 2026 tactics. Do we think this would probably work? Right. I'm just on the side of you know what? I've seen how this organic or how this DM game works over 6 years. And it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? It sounds good on paper, right? But I don't think it's a reliable, sustainable lead gen strategy. I just don't, right? I think it's something you have to do every single day, kind of get in, get out, but don't ever rely on it or think that's going to sit there and generate you the leads that you want on here because Instagram's cracked down on this, right? Facebook is cracked down on this, especially. You can get away with it more on Instagram. That's what we've noticed. But on Facebook, they're very restrictive, And again, people kind of know the game prospect wise to where it's they're getting hit up left and right by other people, right? Or maybe it's not even people in your industry. It's just cold callers, spammy people, right? So it's they know the game, so it doesn't work like it used to 6 years ago. I'm just more of on the side of just having a reliable, predictable lead gen system is using paid advertisement, right?
What would you recommend right now just to one lead gen source? You mentioned paid traffic. So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I mean, it's what we do in our mentorship, right? We build out a funnel, right? And it's basically called the high ticket pathway where it's 3 parts. So it's step 1, right? Is you understand who your perfect future client is, that one singular target market. Step 2, it's you build the high ticket transformation offer, right? That's your offer that you have. The third step is it's called a short form masterclass. So our team builds out a whole entire like funnel where it's a short form masterclass where a prospect can opt in and give them their email, their SMS number. And then from there, they watch a 15, 20 minute short form masterclass on a topic and they build trust and decrease skepticism. And then the next logical step is to do an assessment/evaluation call on there that has a lot of value towards it. So I would run a small budget of ads to that and just really rely on that, because that's going to actually build people to come to your other channels, right? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, they're going to see your content there. Then you can start conversations there. You can start DMs with them. So that to me is more of a reliable and sustainable lead gen system than being like, hey, I'm going to bust out 50 DMs and just hope and pray people are going to get back to me.
Solid advice, Chris. Okay, so guys, take that, take some notes on that, try that out. But again, like, it's not that Alex's, suggestion on outreach is wrong or it doesn't work. No. It's just that, again, it's one way to skin the cat, right? It's one thing to sit there and spend time and effort to doing, right? Because it is a great way to generate leads and conversations. Conversations equal conversions. Every day you have to have conversations. And I tell this to my coaches all the time. Just picture like if you're in a gym, right? If you're like a personal trainer or nutrition coach, it's like you have to have like daily conversations with people to give them cues, to build rapport, to add value to them, to shake their hand, right? Look them in the eye. That builds trust, to educate them. It's the same thing through DMs, right? So if you look at it that way, it makes things a little bit easier. But yeah, it's not that his way is wrong. It's just that, again, maybe it's the way you guys are coming across, the scripts, the messages, how you guys are having these conversations, it's not working. All right, let's go into the second place where most coaches are losing money and having some problems. In this clip that we're going to show, Alex talks about it's not necessarily like the lead gen problem that you guys have. It's more of just like the follow-up problem, right? Because again, there's a statistic out there where it said 80% of sales are done within, 12 to 20 touch points, guys. That's a lot of follow-ups and repetition to be persistent, to really reach out to people. So let's check out this clip.
You can get someone leads, but if they don't work the leads, it doesn't matter, right? And so we've spent millions of dollars and just thousands of man hours, so many hours going through conversations and messenger, threads, and just everything that we do to maximize the percentage of people that schedule and the percentage of people that show, and automating that process so that a gym owner basically needs to post ads and people walk in the door. And so that's the next thing that's rolling out for us. And that's really the next kind of big thing that I'm working on.
Yeah. So what Alex was like talking about there was like the follow-up game, right? And we see this as a huge problem as well too. Like even with like our clients, right? Is I don't know what it is about health and fitness coaches. And look, if you're watching this, obviously you're a health and fitness professional. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up. But it's like, man, like, don't be afraid to follow up with people, okay? Like you could be a little bit like annoying with people, okay? Because in today's era, yeah, attention spans are low, right? People are really busy, right? People got a lot of things going on. We're not top of mind as far as coaches in our business to some people, right? So it's okay to follow up with people. It's okay to be a little bit aggressive and a little bit pushy, right? You don't have to do it in an unethical manner. You don't have to be interrogating, right? There's ways to do it to where you come off as value and actually like you care, right? So, but you have to follow up with people, guys. Like that is never going to change. Whether it's 30 years ago, whether it's 60 years ago, what Alex talked about, whether it's 30 years from now and even AI's advanced, like human behavior and those psychological things don't change. Like people need to be reminded, people need to be followed up with, right? If you just think about it yourself too, like when was the last time you needed a follow-up? You probably needed a follow-up, right? Whatever it was on there. So don't be afraid to follow up with people, okay? And again, the last thing I'll say with this too is like after a sales call, especially, like we've noticed this with our coaches, is don't ever sit there and just let the prospect just like be like, hey, I'll get back to you through email or text message with an answer. Don't ever do that. You have to take leadership and authority and be like, no, we're going to book a call within 24 to 48 hours and you can give me a final decision there. You take leadership and ownership, you put that on the calendar, right? And you actually book that call for there. So you guys can actually move forward with them and actually get the answer that you guys want.
And by the way, how many times do you have to follow up with me and vice versa, right? Like, guys, I'm telling you, like, there's times I'm like, bam, like, I want to just like elbow this guy. But hey, it's part of it, right? Our attention span is just everywhere. And, we just need reminders. So I completely agree with what you said on that. And yeah, I like what Alex says here. So what I would do too, though, right, is like, so again, we said that this video is 6 years old. We interviewed him 6 years ago, right? Probably a little bit longer, and things have changed. So I would incorporate a system, right? I'm just big on systems, and I think systems create freedom and skills pay the bills. So there's not really like a skill set, that is like you have to master faster within a follow-up game. It's just about you putting your pride and ego to a side and just, again, like just reaching out to people, following up. You have a moral obligation to help and serve people. So again, be persistent. And this is a system that I would create. Just write this down. So you could do a follow-up system where you're just touching base with your guys' prospect leads on Mondays and Fridays, right? And again, a CRM system, you guys can go fancy and do this like in a go high level. I think too, even like a spreadsheet is perfectly fine. Just have it very, very detailed as to like, people's names, emails, Instagram handles, Facebook handles, touch points, when you last reached out, what would they say, have some notes there, but just do it Monday and Friday, guys, and just do it first thing in the morning, right? So you get it out of the way. And again, like if you're doing it through like DM conversations, right? So go back into like, the DMs, go watch someone's story, go reply to it, go react to it, go watch one of their reels or posts, right? And leave a genuine comment. Don't be a douchebag and just write something spammy, but no, leave a genuine thought, right? That stands out. And then that person's going to be like, oh, I remember having this conversation with this coach. Like I totally forgot, I got distracted. That's it, guys. Because again, people are distracted, right? They have a lot of other priorities going on. You, myself, Chris are not at the top of their mind, nor should we be. So again, we have to be the hunters and sit there and just, be persistent and have a great follow-up system. And this reminds me too, Chris, of Greg in the mentorship, Greg Stutson. So when Greg came into our accelerator mentorship, right, he was working at F45 pretty much full time and doing some personal training. And he wanted to go online because he was tired of just trading time for dollars, getting underpaid at F45. The list goes on. So after we helped Greg, right, just really brushing up on certain skill sets such as marketing, creating a great offer, his sales process, Greg was good, right? But then his biggest thing was like, he just did not want to sit there and follow up with people. So we had to have a really good like conversation and like coach Greg up and be like, look, man, this is not about you, right? Put the pride, put the emotions to the side. Like, it's just like, have a follow-up system, serve these people at the highest level that you really want to help impact their lives, make them feel heard, understood, and valued. I promise you that you will book more calls with this follow-up system. So we implemented the Monday, Friday system. And over the course of time, just him being more persistent with his follow-ups led to him having better conversations, and it led to him booking 15-minute calls to build, rapport, qualify people, then move them on to a 45-minute Zoom to close them, with his high ticket offers. So the system works, guys. Like, it's proven, but it's just, you got to do it, right? It's like anything else. You got to be disciplined. You got to be obedient and stay true to just the system of just like, let's say it's Monday, Friday. If you don't want to do that, just do once per week. Could be every Monday, could be every Wednesday. You could even do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's no rules, guys. I talked about that statistic in the beginning, that 80% of sales are done within 12 to 20 touch points. It's a lot of touch points. It's like, I got to question you. It's like, how many touch points are you really doing? And just be honest with that.
Okay, so this next part here, the last clip with Alex Hormozi, we're asking him a question specifically. What would he do if he had to start from scratch? If his whole business got wiped out, he had no money, right? All that type of stuff. So watch what he says here.
So since we got a little bit more time, Alex, I want to go back to the question I asked about, like, if things got wiped out, how would you restart it as a personal trainer? Because you already kind of answered the way if gym launch got wiped out.
I would be, so there's the, remember I said you got to trade time or you got to trade money, right? I'm assuming I have nothing now in this example. I have $0, I have nothing. I only have my time. And this is a fun belief that you can have. You can either have time or you can have money, but you can't have neither, right? So either broke, you can't be busy and broke. You can't. It's not about, like, either trading, like either you got time to trade or you have money to trade. Like, you have one or the other. You can't be like, I have neither. So hopefully that breaks whatever excuse somebody might be like using right now. All right. But if you have time, which you do if you don't have money, then you trade that time to get eyeballs. And the way that you do that is a structured outreach process. So I'd be reaching out to 100 people a day, every day, and ask them if they know anybody who wants to lose weight or wants to have online training that they can do at home. Right. Now, notice, I'm not asking if they want it. I'm asking if they know someone who wants it. And the key difference there is that I'm not soliciting them. I'm asking them for help, which is a very different frame. 9 times out of 10, they'll respond and say, I might be interested. But it's okay because you didn't ask for that. And so if you do 100 reach outs a day, it takes you about 2 hours every single day, you'll typically be able to close about 1% of those reach outs every day. And you can close them into a $1,000 or $2,000 package, right? And that's it. Like, all you're doing is you're pushing them to get on a quick call, and then you schedule a formal appointment. The quick call is to just build rapport, get them to like you. Typically, the way you do that is you just compliment someone a lot of times for 5 minutes. And then
you set the appointment. The reason they're going to show up at that appointment is because you fired a whole bunch of dopamine and serotonin during that first call, and they're going to want to have that again. And so you're just thinking about how can I make them feel during this call so they're going to want to show up for the next call. And on the next call, you've positioned yourself. Maybe you send them a questionnaire to fill out so you can have a more thorough, call with them. And at that point, you do a 60-minute close, and you really close them on like a true solution that'll solve their problem, right? And that's what you do, and you do that every day. And that's 2 hours a day of reach outs. And that's how you do it. If someone's like, well, I don't want to spam people. Okay, well, right now, you probably have 1,000 followers on Instagram, probably have 1,000 friends on Facebook, and you probably have 400 phone numbers in your phone, right? If I gave you 2,400 leads today, you couldn't work them if you wanted to, all right? So 100 reach outs a day means that you have 24 full days worth of reach outs. 24 full days. Now, realistically, you probably take 100 and work them for 2 or 3 days. That's probably what ended up happening, right? You'd follow up for 2 or 3 days for each of those 100 people. So we did every 3 days. Now you're talking, you have 75 days worth of leads that are 100% free and have opted into your communication. There is no spam because they've already friended you, they've already followed you, or they're already in your contact list.
Okay, I love what he says here, right? Especially in this scenario, especially what he said, where it's like if you have 2,400 like contacts on there and you do 100 per day, right? That's 24 days. You can do that. 24 days, guys, is a lot of time to sit there and move conversations onto calls like that. And if you sell something for say $2,000 and you sell one per week on there, that's $8,000 right there. Okay. Now, where I disagree kind of with this, right? If you go back to the first clip that we watched with Alex, right? The game has changed a little bit with like reach outs and outreach and all that stuff, right? Doesn't mean it's dead. You could still do it. It's just changed a little bit, right? With it. That's all. So you have to be a little bit more strategic on this. Where I would add my twist to this, right, is 2 hours, right? 100 reach outs, you can do that, right? But then it's like, what happens to like literally the rest of the 6 to 8 hour days that you have right there? I would literally go take my ass all around basically a 3 to 10 mile radius and start building relationships there. Like literally handshaking like people's hands. How could I come in and do a free workshop? How can I do a lunch and learn for you guys? How can I do a seminar for like gyms if they don't have a nutritionist there, right? But I would go around 3 to 10 mile radiuses to all businesses, shake people's hands, ask indirectly. So that's basically what I would do differently, guys. I would continue to do what Alex recommended, but then in the rest of the hours that I have, I'd go to 3 10 mile radius like I just mentioned and just start breaking bread with a bunch of like companies indirectly or directly on there. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. And you're saying to do the local radius stuff like today, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So on top of that, what I would do, guys, again, this is context like 6-7 years ago, we did this interview. So again, I love what Alex is saying, but I would also go the extra route too of just just getting more testimonials, right? Creating a testimonial bank, whether that's through like a Dropbox folder, a Google Drive, or just having a basic landing page with a bunch of different like screenshots or video testimonials, and really reaching out to all your guys' past clients that you've worked with. Maybe even have a group of people that you help for free that are going to 100% give you a great testimonial. And I would have that to start with, right? And just start pushing that out as content. Maybe put a little bit money behind it, boost it, get it out there to more people. But this way, right, it's like you have proven results, and the results-driven marketing aspect, as a fitness coach, it's only going to help you guys just amplify that trust factor, right? Because we live in a time where skepticism is extremely high and trust is extremely low, right? So how do we break that skepticism and trust, right? It's by showing people that, hey, number one, you're an authority. Number one, you truly care. You have good intent. You're a good human being, and you have people's best interests. And then again, the next one is just showcasing your guys' great talents to help and serve people and impact lives with social proof and just testimonials and case studies. So that's how I would tackle that.
One more thing, right? That was a really good idea what you said about like getting a social proof bank like that, because you can create like a landing page like on a Go High Level or something like that and have a link. And when you actually indirectly ask people, like Alex said, it's like, you can be like, here's like a social proof of like all the people I helped, or you can actually point to like a specific case study that might be, similar to that person you're having dialogue with right there. And that only increases their confidence, right? And really like positions you as an authority. So I love that idea. So that's what we would do.
And again, if you are a nutrition and fitness coach, right, you're struggling with lead gen, you're struggling with the high ticket off, you're struggling with creating systems, maybe it's more of just like your mindset, right? You're having fear, uncertainty, doubt. You need a roadmap, and you need to sit there and really just like be guided through 2026. Then guys, we invite you guys to apply for our accelerator mentorship, where we help coaches just like you start, build, and grow your guys' online fitness coaching business. So the next step is, it's really loose, right? Chris and I, we're not going to attack you. We're not going to be like, hey, where's your credit card? What kind of credit card do you guys have? No, all I'm doing is inviting you to a free 15-minute business growth call with one of us twins, right? You guys can play the guessing game, but that's it. It's a loose call where we're going to just have you guys fill out a quick application, see where you're at, see how we can best help and serve you. And then we'll just come up with a great game plan and see if it's a good fit. Again, we showed you guys a lot of great tactics and advice from Alex Hormozi. So hopefully this was helpful. The last thing I like to do and Chris likes to do on our videos, because again, as we mentioned, we are men of God. We are big in putting our faith at the forefront. And again, business is a game of belief. So I want to sit here and just do a quick prayer for you guys and pray us out. If that is something you guys are uncomfortable with, totally cool. You guys can just go on to the next video, watch the next video that pops up. But again, if you want to join us, let's go into a quick prayer. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for this amazing Tuesday. Thank you for allowing us to just be here and just help and serve fitness and nutrition coaches through this YouTube channel. And God, thank you for just putting us in alignment with Alex Hormozi and just having that ability to interview him, even if it was 7 years ago. And I ask that you just put a hedge of protection over him, his family, Layla, and just continue to prosper that man and have him just help way more just entrepreneurs. He's on a mission. We respect the heck out of him. And again, just anyone that's watching this video, I hope that they just extract the value, have more belief, conviction in what they're doing, and just implement imperfectly and just help themselves just get to that next level in their business and helping reach more people with their God-given talents. Thank you for this day. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, guys, we're out.